Welcome back to a new Clash Royale video, and today is everything about the new champion Little Prince in Clash Royale. I'm going to show you all the stats, going to show you gameplay, and also how to unlock Little Prince in Clash Royale for free. Little Prince costs 3 elixirs, 700 HP on turn state, which is similar to a musketeer, so it means he does die to poison, rocket, and lightning, but he doesn't die to the good old fireball. At the same time, his range damage is just like half of the musketeer, but at the same time, as you guys can see here, his hit speed increases every time he targets a troop while he is standing. So he needs to stand, then his hit speed will increase over time, which can be absolutely big. Now we're gonna take a look at the ability which we already knew cost 3 elixir. The Royal Rescue, the Guardian charges into battle, dealing charge damage and pushing enemies back. The cooldown will be 30 seconds. The charge damage 400 hit points. You can kinda compare to Knight, a bit less damage also, I think like 20 less compared to Knight, and the hit speed is like 0.3 seconds slower compared to the Knight. So I would say it's like a worse Knight overall, but of course added with the extra charge damage. But before jumping into some gameplay, I want to show you how to redeem the new Little Prince in Clash Royale. It's actually not too hard. They said it's for free, it's actually for free. You just need to click the button and then you just need to claim it, and then you're able to get it. I unlocked it before already, so I just get another one, but this won't be possible for you guys. But also, you're able to play this kind of mini missions to unlock and also an exclusive banner in Clash Royale. So this is really cool. You just need to play against the bot there, and also like of course with the Little Prince, but this is really great. So you're gonna get it for free, and you can also get an exclusive banner for free if you do this little missions. So guys, we're actually jumping into gameplay now, and I'm just gonna use the ability against a double for like a giant prince push, giant dark prince push. So the Guardian is actually pushing back the giant there with together the help of the Little Prince. Is doing actually a really good job. At the same time, you get the counter push. So against like big golden pushes, against big giant pushes, big goblin giant pushes, big electric giant pushes, you actually have the Guardian to push back the tank, and then you got the Little Prince behind it to shred the entire tank, and also on offense doing a decent amount of counter push. But I actually want to see the Little Prince alone against Lava and what he can do. Remember, he doesn't have a fireball on, so the opponent needs to go fireball zap. I'm just going to go for my Little Prince. There's Little Prince is coming down. And now let's see what he does. So, as I said, the attack speed increases, and the Lava gets like 1 shot, gets like 2 shots, gets like 3 shots, gets like 4 shots, and then the Little Prince is doing an actually okay job there against the Lava Pups. Actually survives, so the Little Prince is able to completely counter a Lava Hound and then creates counter push, and you're still able to go with the ability to tank for the Little Prince there. So this is really interesting, an important interaction to remember when this card finally comes out in the 6th of November. Of course, most of you people can expect this already, but it also, of course, fully counters Loon, right? So we're just going for the Little Prince there. Death damage, of course, will still be taken, but you still are able to completely counter the balloon. So this is like similar to a musketeer, I would say, just like that the hit speed increases every time he targets. And yeah, I just think like the Little Prince, it's an absolutely crazy card, and it could be a really fun, especially with the spicy 3 elixir ability sometimes to clean up backups, to push back dupes at the right time. I feel like there could be a really huge skill cap in competitive matches with this card allowed. If you're an Xbow player, you're gonna have a really sad time, since the Little Prince does so well against Xbow. Even if the opponent, example, is gonna like protect it like he does there with the Knight, we can just go in for the ability here, and now the Guardian is gonna smash everything, just targets on the Xbow and just destroys him. So like, if you're an Xbow player, you might be really sad, and if you're an Xbow hater, you might be one of the happiest guy on earth. Okay guys, I thought about one really interesting interaction. I kinda really wanna see what happens now. I have no idea, but I could think this could be absolutely incredible. So I'm just gonna go for my Little Prince here, and now I'm gonna instantly hit the ability, and let's see what he does. So he's just gonna go there on top of that. Okay, he's just gonna go like this. He's just gonna charge this type of range. Okay, interesting to know. Not really as spicy as I would have thought, but yeah, still good to know, I think. So it's not gonna charge on top of the tombstone, even the skeletons were close by. But to be fair, there's never really a situation where it feels like the ability is not worth it. At example, we're just gonna play a Little Prince there, like getting it out of a counter push at example, and now it's gonna walk the line. So this is like a perfect ability time. We're just gonna use it here. Okay, I think I'll use it even like 1 second too late, but it's still like really good. If you get the right timing, it will tank at the right time for the Little Prince. But maybe even sometimes it's really cool to let the Little Prince tank there, to like let the focus from the tower go there, that the Guardian gets a ton of damage. Because as you guys can see here, the Guardian is completely taking the tower. Normally this is a really defensive card, right? It's more of a defensive card where you want to defend and get a counter push, maybe use the ability in offense, but sometimes, as you guys can see there, or as you guys saw already, against like double prince push, against golem pushes, goblin giant pushes, also goblin sparky pushes, you want to use this card on defense in a really great way, similar to the golden knight, right? Like golden knight does pretty well against all the type of spam decks, against royal recruit spam, against like skelly king spam, and the guardian is really in a similar way, but extra added like the single target DPS, which is absolutely crazy, which you saw against the Lava from Little Prince. So this could be a really interesting card, but I'm still unsure about how broken it really will be. But let me know what you guys think so far about this card. Will it absolutely break the meta game or not? It's time now for a really big test. So the opponent's gonna play Golem Lumberjack there. I'm just gonna go use here my Little Prince. Let's see. So Little Prince is not gonna do so much so far. I'm just gonna go for the ability now. So the ability is gonna push this back. The Guardian is going to be able to get into the Lumberjack, will kill the Lumberjack, also survives. The Golem is going to get a decent amount of chip damage, so the tower goes down, I would say like 50%, but we still got like an almost like half HP Guardian. I mean, like not Guardian, like Little Prince. So this is interesting. Is it really worth it? I don't know. I mean, like I still normally in this type of situation, I still got something else to defend. You kind of also need to realize, right? We just spent 6 elixir and he spent 11. So overall, I would say this card has like a ton of defensive potential, especially with this extra knockback, right? This extra knockback from the Guardian is absolutely huge because, like, I don't know, it just feels like so big, so massive. Since I love you guys, I also of course have to show how the card does against ebuffs, right? I can tell you guys against ebuffs, this type of card does really well. So we're just gonna go for a Little Prince there. And I think now I'm just gonna go for the ability. Okay, I mean, the placement was pretty bad, so I normally have to go for the Little Prince behind the tower to get the right angel, to get like a pushback against both of them. So this is really important, right? Because the Guardian is always coming to protect the Little Prince. So you kind of want to go more behind the tower, because if you go behind the tower, you're able to get like better value, like the pushing back troops. So this is kind of what you need to learn, and this is what we're going to do next. So next try, opponent is gonna go this time for ebuffs at the bridge. I'm just gonna go for my Little Prince. I think this time a better placement, right? So now we're gonna get the Guardian down. I think a bit too late, but overall this was a very better defense. We got a Guardian alive with like 80% HP left. So this is what you want to do, right? You want to play your Little Prince behind the tower to get the right angel to push back both troops, because this is kind of what you also saw against the Golem earlier. I was playing my Little Prince to the side and the Guardian came, and it was like a weird angel, and the Golem didn't really got like pushed back like with the full potential of the Guardian. So this is really important, and this is kind of what I took in as a learning also by using this type of card for like the first time ever, and kind of like taking this experience into the next card matchup. So guys, since we're currently in mid ladder, we need to also test it against the good old Maggot. I think this type of situation it's fine to go in for this. Now I'm just gonna go in for, I'm gonna play it there. Whoa, what just happened, dude? Okay, the Mega Knight got pushed back while he was jumping, so I need to react way faster. You kind of need to consider, okay, it also has some deploy time, right? It's not instant there, since it has to just like run into it, or like he has to run into arena before like actually helping Little Prince. But that was a really interesting sequence. He actually got like pushed back, then he came back on Earth, and he targeted the Little Prince instead of the Guardian. I feel like there will be a ton of games, also competitive games, esport games, so it's like a ton of money, where people maybe mess up the ability timing, and then the Little Prince gets killed and the Guardian alone doesn't really do anything, since the combination between both of them is what makes this card so great, and one of the most one of the most broken champions ever released in the game. So what could be interesting is to see the Little Prince do against Graveyard Knight. So his opponent's just gonna go Graveyard Knight. We're just gonna go for a Little Prince there. I'm just gonna go for goblins here. And I think if with the right ability timing, we should do a really good job, like distracting that. And I mean, it's doing an okay job there. I think with a better placement, maybe it's possible. But the thing is, like, even if you're played behind your tower, I still think it's not gonna hit too many skulls. We're gonna try it out now, but I think it's not gonna make too big of a difference. So the opponent's gonna go once again in with the giant, with the knight plus graveyard. So I'm just gonna wait here as long as I can. Now I'm just gonna go for my ability. Let's see what the... Okay, to be fair, I think this was way nicer. So you kind of want to play it behind your tower always to get the most maximum value. Just like to get like the biggest sort of skeletons all of one place together, that the splash damage of the Guardian gets so much value, kills all the skeletons. So I think this is one of the most important like keys you kind of want to take away from this card today. So guys, take a look at this interesting interaction now. When the opponent is gonna throw a Goblin Ball, of course you are able to completely counter the Goblin Ball. I think you need to pre-place the Little Prince. And if I'm gonna go now for my ability, you should be able to completely counter all the goblins. I mean, this is one of the interactions which is kind of like preemptive, similar to a Monk, but besides like the biggest difference with the Monk is of course you're not gonna get this goblins back on opponent's tower. But I think it's a really good interaction to know, so you're completely able to counter Goblin Ball. And I mean, like this combination between a Guardian and also Little Prince, they do so well against any type of Swarm units. And I think this is really great because spam units like Goblin Giant, Golden Pushes, Goblin Gang, Skeleton Army, Skelly King, they're just so annoying Clash Royale, so I'd love to have a great counter against that now. The main question is, what does even count the Little Prince? We're just gonna play Little Prince there, an opponent. If like, of course, the Pekka, if you directly get the Pekka on top of it, it's always gonna be one shot. So this is kind of the thing, right? So when your opponent's gonna do this, you kind of need to play your pre-plays, or you need to kind of predict the Pekka to come down. Otherwise, your Guardian is just gonna die. Also, your Little Prince is gonna die, and you basically make a +1 elixir trade, but you still need to defend like an entire Pekka. So this is kind of the thing, right? Pekka does really well against it, so you kind of need to be careful about that. Also, let's take a look at the Mega Knight here. So Little Prince, of course, just like mainly used on defense. It's not gonna be a bridge run card, right? So when the opponent is gonna use the Mega Knight on top of that, you're not gonna be able to get. Oh, what? It's still coming out? Okay, I didn't expect that. Okay, it's still coming out, but it's not going to do anything. So you need to have something else in your deck to kind of support it. Otherwise, the Guardian alone is not really useful at all, especially on offense. But also, the Little Prince alone isn't really useful at offense, like in offense at all. So I would say the Little Prince... I mean, the Little Prince is doing something alone on defense, as you guys were seeing earlier against Lava and Xbow and so on. But both of them, they work so well together, and it will be the main key part to get them both on the map and get the Guardian to support and tank for the Little Prince. This is kind of main key takeaways from this video. If you guys enjoy this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to use code MORT in the shop, check one of the other videos out, and let me know what you guys think. You guys think this card is going to be broken? In my opinion, it will be one of the better champions. I don't know if it's going to be exactly game broken, because it feels like, to be fair, currently champions aren't really too good because of evolutions, but I could possibly see, I don't know, dominating meta is hard word. I'm like really open for that, but I wouldn't say it's extremely busted. But there are some interactions where I feel like, especially on defense, it can be really annoying to play against.